26, Proverbs 1 to 3, and Romans chapter 7. Now, Proverbs are an interesting kind of place to go, because what you'll find is all kinds of themes, all kinds of topics. And sometimes within one chapter you'll have a variety. And so one of the best way for the Proverbs and going forward, after we go through these number of days where we'll get through the Proverbs, is as an extra kind of thing, is just reading a proverb a day on the number for the calendar. But verse 7 of Proverbs chapter 1 says this: "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Fools despise wisdom and instruction." And just allow that to settle. As you think through and you read through the Proverbs, realize that they're not necessarily always do this, don't do that. They're guidelines and principles of life lived before the Lord, and a healthy respect for God, a reverence. That's what fear is here. It's not a, oh no, he's going to get me. It's a reverence, because he's a holy God, and a respect for him will lead us to what? Beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. If you're not teachable, it's not a good place for you. It's not a good look. Romans chapter 7, just as a quick little deal, it's in the midst between 6 and 8, and wise, right? Chapter 6 and chapter 7 and chapter 8 are some of the most seminal chapters in the Bible. And so as you read through them these days, take your time. What's interesting about them is he talks about the law and sin, and that the law had a point, and it had a role to demonstrate what sin was. And yet, it's not able to really change the heart. That's always been the problem. More rules don't necessarily help. More regulations. More don't do this, don't do that. It creates a situation where, verse 16 of Romans chapter 7, "Now if I do what I do not want, I agree that the law is good. And it is no longer I who do it, but sin that dwells within me. For I know that nothing good dwells in me, that is in my flesh. For I have the desire to do what is right, but not the ability to carry it out. For I do not do the good I want, but the evil I do not want is what I keep on doing. Now, if I do what I do not want, it is no longer I who do it, but sin that dwells within me. So I find it to be a law that when I want to do right, evil lies close at hand. For I delight in the law of God in my inner being. But I see in my members another law, waging war against the law of my mind and making me captive to the law of sin that dwells in my members. Wretched man that I am. Who will deliver me from this body of death? Thanks be to God through Jesus Christ our Lord. So then I myself serve the law of God with my mind, but with my flesh I serve the law of sin." And if you just leave it there, you're like, that's a mess. But it thankfully goes tomorrow into chapter 8, and the freedom in the Spirit and life in the Spirit, and what that looks like, and how we can take those next steps. So don't stop today. Keep reading tomorrow what God has in store for you. Until next time, keep growing little by little.